Hi and welcome to this quick video on how to add new calendars to Microsoft Project Online. One of the classic examples of why we may want to do this is if we are working in a project where we need to be able to assign resource over weekends. So let's have a look at the project details. As you'll notice, we've got a calendar option within the project details and it's generally set to the default work template. Now this default work template is a Monday to Friday 9 to 5, but what happens if we want to add in a new calendar option? So to do that, we're going to go to Power Apps, and once we've loaded up Power Apps, we're going to click on Apps. Once we've clicked on Apps, we should scroll down and somewhere at the bottom you should see Project. This is a model driven app, but once we've clicked onto this, it will open up the Microsoft Project app builder where we can add resources, accounts and new calendars. The first thing we need to do is to click on Resources. This is where we need to create a generic resource with a calendar schedule that we want to use. So we're going to click on New, and we're going to select the resource type as generic, but we could choose others if we wanted to. We're going to put in the name of the calendar name we would like, so for example 24 hours working. We'll click on Save and we'll wait a moment for that to update. Once done, we'll be able to go to the Work Hours tab, which is next to General. And we can see here we've got Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 as the working hours for this resource. But we don't have anything on Saturday or Sunday. So we're going to edit the working hours for this resource by clicking on the item and clicking Edit, and then selecting all events in the series. In the pop-out that opens up, we've got the ability to select the working hours to all day, when the start date is, and also what days of the week we would like to choose. So you can see here I've chosen the specific times for that. We can also, if we wanted to, choose business closure times and also change the regional time zones. But we can click Save to that, and you'll notice the calendar is now updated with availability on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, now that's done. At the bottom of the screen on the left, we're going to click onto Projects and go to Settings. Once we go to Settings, we're going to click on Calendar Templates over on the left-hand side. You'll notice in here I've got the default work template plus one that I created earlier. But let's go and create a new one for this schedule. So I click onto New. I'm going to type in 24 hours working. The description, I can put in the same description should I so wish, or any other description that makes sense. And in the template resource, I'm going to look up the 24 hours working resource that I've just created and select that. Once done, I can click on Save and Close. Now what this is doing is this is creating the availability in the calendar template for me based on this resource's usage. So what does this look like in the Microsoft Project Online? Well, if we go back, you'll notice that I don't have the current calendar available. So I'm just going to refresh the screen. Once this project reloads, if I go back to the same area and select project details, I can go down to the calendars and my new calendar is available for me to use. Now, traditionally, I wouldn't be allowed to select weekend dates, but you can see on this project I can select the start date as a Saturday. All I have to do is click close to that. But I can also go to any task. I can click on the information that pop up with that task, and I can choose the specific dates that I would so like. So for example, if I go to the start, I can choose any day of the weekend, for example the 22nd, and that's allowed me to put that in. And one of the things that I can do as well with this, as you notice, I can select Sunday or Saturday. I can close that list down as well once I'm happy with all of the settings there. And that's going to allow me to put that in. Now one of the things would be is what would happen if I changed this to use the other calendar, so the calendar which is the default one not allowing weekend working. Well, if I go back to the default work template, I close this down and go back into the project task item, and I try and select a weekend date such as 22nd as an example, or the 23rd. What will happen in the bottom left, you'll see that the task has moved to the next working day. Now this is something I may not want to happen, which is where these new calendar functionality options come into play.